This Valentine's Day, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani are prioritizing their work over their love. Lord Jomit's No. 1 guitar and his 1974 Fender Telecaster were gifts from his father to Sturgill Simpson. On the Hallmark holiday, the pair is expected to be in New Orleans, Louisiana, to assist the city in celebrating a significant occasion. The 60th annual Crew of Endymion Extravaganza will feature them as the main act. On February 14, the event will be held at the Caesars Superdome. The event's co-grand marshal will be Arthur Hardy, a Mardi Gras historian, and Lane Kiffin, the head football coach of Louisiana State University. Shelton and Stefani will have access to the mixed nuts and sugar shaker. The Crew of Endymion Extravaganza comes after the festivities. After the Endymion parade on the Saturday night before Mardi Gras, there is always a party. Visitors, guests, and parade participants all gather for the occasion. DJs and extravagant stage shows, together with well-known attendees like Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, create the atmosphere of a big concert rather than a standard Mardi Gras celebration. It's a spectacular sight. Katy Perry and Train performed at the event last year. Kelly Clarkson, Maroon 5, Luke Bryan, and fellow American Idol judge Carrie Underwood are among the other performers that have made headlines. We presume that Shelton wanted to join because of how much fun Adam Levine, the lead singer of Maroon 5, had performing with his fellow coach on The Voice. The God Gave Me You singer refuted the many rumors that Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani are divorcing earlier this month. I started noticing these articles popping up about Blake and Gwen. They're split up, stated Shelton. They are going through a divorce and aren't even seeing each other anymore. A week later, a photo of us leaving the grocery store appears. Oh, they're back together again. Shelton and Stefani's relationship is doing really well, according to a source. The rumors of the split are untrue. According to The Insider, they have simply been managing hectic schedules. When they are together, it's just so obvious how solid they are. Love that endures has a subtly reassuring quality in a world that frequently seems to be getting louder, faster, and more confusing by the day. The steady, lived-in love that deepens with time, rather than the ostentatious, headline-grabbing variety. Valentine's Day isn't about extravagant gifts or extravagant surprises for one of the most beloved couples in country music. It's about tradition, purpose, and again choosing one another. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have been regarded as one of the best love tales in country music for many years. They are icons on their own. When combined, they represent something even more uncommon. Evidence that romance can withstand the demands of public life, including the constant limelight, touring schedules, creative pressure, and stardom. Fans are once again wondering how two celebrities who have shared stages, studios, and almost 30 years of marriage decide to commemorate the most romantic day of the year as Valentine's Day draws near. It turns out that the answer is really straightforward. An actual Valentine's Day, Tim and Faith have always preferred something more realistic, in contrast to many celebrity couples who choose exotic vacations or exclusive, reservation-only activities. Their definition of romance has always been about cherishing the quiet times that keep their love going rather than trying to dazzle everyone. For them, Valentine's Day is more about making room than it is about a particular evening. Room to slow down. Room to converse. A place to think about their past and future. In certain years, that entails remaining at home. Faith has stated in previous interviews regarding marriage and love that there's something romantic about familiarity. The couple's attitude to February 14 reflects this sentiment. They would rather celebrate in the privacy of their own home when time permits, with no photographers, no red carpets, and no expectations other than to be together. Rather than candlelit restaurants, cooking together is one of the couple's favorite Valentine's Day customs. When the lights go down and the music stops, it's an activity that reflects who they are. While Faith adds her own southern flavor to the kitchen, Tim likes managing the grill or trying out new recipes. Sharing a bottle of wine while listening to soft music, laughing over mishaps, and remembering early travel days are all examples of how the process itself becomes a part of the romance. It doesn't have to be a lavish lunch. Steak and veggies are sometimes served. In other years, it's comfort food, dishes that bring back memories of their childhood, their families, and the easygoing days before award shows and stadium tours. Who is seated across the table is more important than what is on the plate. Music continues to infiltrate even in the most informal way. Music would have to be a part of their Valentine's Day. The language that initially brought Tim and Faith together, and the thing that keeps them together, is music. Some Valentine's Day evenings conclude with acoustic guitars taken out of their cases and melodies floating through the living room in the absence of any listeners. There's no need to perform. No need to be flawless. Just creativity that has been shared. They would play old songs that symbolized different phases of their relationship, such as music from their early courtship or tunes that got them through extended periods of time apart while on tour. Sometimes they just listen. Records on vinyl. Traditional country tunes. Music that serves as a reminder of the reasons they fell in love with storytelling in general as well as with one another. Contemplation of gifts. Don't anticipate dazzling jewelry displays or gift exchanges fit for social media. Valentine's Day presents for this pair are frequently quite intimate and subtly significant. Handwritten messages. Inscribed books. Little mementos connected to common experiences, like a framed picture from a night that altered everything or something acquired on a road trip years ago. Time has already discussed the significance of intention in a partnership. Their approach to giving gifts reflects this idea. The idea behind it is more important than the cost. Time, uninterrupted, undistracted, and purposefully set apart for one another, can occasionally be the most potent gift they give and receive. Love that is not fading but has changed. It's not what they do that makes their Valentine's Day preparations so captivating, but rather why they do it. Tim and Faith realize that love changes over time after spending almost 30 years together. It changes. Early Valentine's Days were probably full of handwritten cards exchanged backstage, stolen moments between tour dates, and the excitement of new love. Their celebration now demonstrates a more profound comprehension of partnership. One based on tolerance, respect, and assistance to one another. They have overcome obstacles. Public examination. Highs and lows of a career. Becoming a parent. Reimagining. Instead of growing apart, they have decided to grow together through it all. Valentine's Day becomes more about celebrating that shared journey than it is about romance in the conventional sense. Maintaining the day, only for them. Tim and Faith are surprisingly quiet about their personal joys in a time when many celebrities feel compelled to post about every milestone on the internet. Seldom does Valentine's Day turn into a spectacle. Fans typically only receive a fleeting peek, such as a silent picture, a brief description, or a lyric that conveys more information than a paragraph ever could. This deliberate seclusion seems to be a component of the relationship. For them, love is not a performance. It should be safeguarded. Even as their lives play out in front of millions of people, that limit has allowed their connection to be genuine. Even though Valentine's Day is usually just for the two of them, family is always on their minds. Tim and Faith's views on love, partnership, and commitment have been influenced by their 3 grown daughters. Being parents strengthened their relationship by teaching them new communication and compromise techniques. Additionally, it reinterpreted romance as an integral part of everyday life, rather than something distinct from it. In certain years, Valentine's Day celebrations include shared moments or family feasts before the pair withdraws to their own private area. After all, love doesn't exist in a vacuum. Why this is so relatable to fans. Tim and Faith's approach to love feels approachable, which is one of the reasons why fans are still so engrossed in their relationship. Despite their notoriety, their Valentine's Day preparations reflect what many couples want: meaning over spectacle, connection over materialism. They serve as a reminder that romance only requires attention and doesn't have to wane with time. Their example is refreshing in a culture that frequently associates extravagance with love. A 5-star restaurant or a private jet are not necessary to make Valentine's Day memorable. Sometimes simply being there is enough. A story of love that never ends. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill continue to demonstrate that the most powerful love tales aren't usually the most raucous ones as another Valentine's Day approaches. They are the ones constructed in silence, day by day, decision after decision. Even while their strategies don't include big revelations or headlines, that's precisely what gives them power. They honor love in the same manner that they have experienced it, really, purposefully, and with profound regard for one another. Tim and Faith continue to be one of the most persistent reminders that lasting love is possible in a genre that has given the world innumerable songs about heartbreak, longing, and lost love.